Hello team, how's it going? Welcome back to a new video. Today we're going to be talking about the British Army and the Royal Artillery. And in this video we're going to be discussing what training establishment you're going to do phase 1, where you will do phase 2, what sort of courses you can look at possibly doing in phase 2, and then let's go into a little bit of detail of the jobs that you can do within the Royal Artillery, and then a little bit of career progression. But before we start, please hit that like button. It really helps the video and the algorithm. Hit that subscription button and notifications bell to stay updated on my videos, so you can stay updated on tips and advice for joining the army, how to prepare for the army, and how to get fit for the British Army and military as well. So make sure you smash that like button and that notifications bell. Let's get into it then. Where are you going to conduct training? So if you join in the Royal Artillery, you're going to conduct phase 1 at either Harrogate, Winchester or Purbright. If you're going in as a junior soldier, so you're going to do that AFC Harrogate and you'll conduct a 40-week course there. If you're going in at adult entry, then you're going to either do it at Purbright or Winchester, and you're going to conduct the 14-week training course there. And all this is everyone who goes through the army, no matter what trade they're going to do, has to do some sort of basic training to enable you to be a soldier first and then trade second. So within the Royal Artillery there are 14 regiments. So you've got one training regiment now, and then you've got 13 other regiments. So 14 regiment is just a training regiment. You won't be able to actually join that regiment unless you go there on posting, but you will be part of 14 regiment RA when you're in phase 2. So we won't talk about that today. Then you've got all the other regiments. You've got King's Troop, you've got your light gun regiments, your AS90 MRS regiments. You've then got your air defence, your HVM and a rapier, and then you've even got your surveillance and UAV regiments as well. So there's a wide range of regiments and jobs that you can do within the Royal Artillery. Which one you do though will totally depend on what it is you like doing, what you feel you would like doing in the army, and how you want to progress in your career. Because there's no point just picking a job because your friend's done it or your family's done it before. You need to pick the job that's right for you. If you're not interested in being operational and deploying away, then the regiment I would suggest is King's Troop. King's Troop is a ceremonial regiment, and they literally just carry out ceremonial duties. I believe they can volunteer for operations and exercises if they want to, but I've not seen it happen. I don't know if anyone has, but I believe they can if there's a space, but they just concentrate on ceremonial duties, mainly in London and then around the UK as well. So that's King's Troop. Then you've got your light gun regiments. So you've got like 4RA, 7 and 2-9, 7 being the airborne, supporting 16 Brigade, 2-9 being the commando, supporting all the commando brigades. You've then got AS90 regiments, so 1st, 3rd, 2-6, 19, they've all come back from Germany now, so they're all based in the UK. Some of them have got an MLRS battery as well, so that's your GMRS, that's your missile rocket launcher, so you do have that opportunity as well. If you don't want to work on the gun line, you'd rather work on some sort of like missile system. Then you've got your surveillance and target acquisition assets. Okay, they're the specialists in surveillance and target acquisition. Loads of different bits of equipment there. So if you're more interested in a bit of surveillance and target acquisition, finding out where the battery gunfire is coming from, or you could join 473, go into special observers where they do their own arduous course, and then you just become basically gurus in subsurface OPs, working in 4-man teams, which is pretty cool. Then you've got your UAVs, so your unmanned aerial vehicles. So if you're interested in like flying drones, but I'm not talking your small propeller drones. Yes, they have the smaller ones, but all the way up to your watchkeepers, so your fixed wings drones. So that's the wide spectrum of the Royal Artillery. There's obviously multiple jobs that you can do within there. You need to find what you're interested in. So are you more ceremonial, want to work with horses? Then that's King's Troop. Would you prefer to be more on foot but still work on a gun line? So you've got the light gun. Would you prefer armoured, so working out of the AS90? Or is a bit of air defence, surface to air missiles, something like that more for you? So you've got 12 and 16 regiments. Or your surveillance target acquisition, working on big surveillance assets, or going on foot and specialising in subsurface OPs with 473. They're the jobs that you can do there. And if you really want to and you want to work on the light gun, you can then go and do either P Company and work in 7, or you can do the Commando course and work in 2-9. Also, there are other batteries out there, so if you want to go UAVs or to air defence, you can actually go and do P Company within 12 Regiment RA and 47 Regiment RA as well. So there's the opportunity to do P Company there as well and support 16 Brigade while you do it. What are you going to do in phase 2 then? So once you leave phase 1 training, you're then going to go to phase 2. Let's talk about PT. PT is very similar to like the previous course I spoke about. It's just basically an increase in what you've done at phase 1. If you are worried about it, you are worried about phase 1, then you can get our Tactical Warrior Tactifit program in the link description below. But you're going to be at a base level from phase 1. You're going to go to phase 2. They're going to step it up a little bit. It's going to be slightly harder, a little bit more challenging, and then they're going to keep on increasing as you progress through phase 2. Nothing to worry about. The PTIs are there to support you. So seriously, you never really have to worry about PT throughout the training. As long as you pass the assessment, you stay at that base level or progress, and you never go below. If you're going to go 7, 2, 9, 4, 7, 3, then you are expected to be fitter. So normally there is specialist PT, but due to COVID, I don't think they're doing it. So you will have to speak to your PTIs and your training team, but they will obviously have things in place to ensure that you are at the right level for when you arrive at regiment to do the relevant courses. But never worry about it. If you are worried, speak to your DS and they will help you. But that's what normally happens pre-COVID, is you would have extra PT to get you up to their level. And it's really arduous, it's really interesting, and it's fun. So it's definitely worth doing. Now let's talk about courses. The problem I'm going to have with this video, and I am going to redo this video later on in the year, is speaking to a few friends of mine. It's all changed because of COVID. I'll talk about what I did in phase 2. I'll sort of talk about what it's like now and what it could change to in the near future as we sort of step out of these lockdowns and we get back to reality and normal life. So when I went through phase 2, obviously I went to a light gun regiment. I was going 7, so I did the extra specialist PT on a Tuesday and Thursday evening, while the other guys and girls who were going to the other regiments went and did sports. So we went and did extra PT. Then everyone will get their Cat B driving licence. You will all be able to drive a car as long as you pass the driving test by the time you leave phase 2. If you've already got it, then you don't need to do it. They do the theory and the practical, so you haven't got to worry about any of that. Then if you're going to do a gun regiment, you're either going to do signals or gunnery. This was normally dependent on the barb test, which it most probably still is. But if you're worried about it in the future, don't worry. If you do signals or gunnery in phase 2, doesn't mean you're always going to be on the gun line or always doing signals when you get to regiment. Just do the relevant course, pass it. That's your level 1 signals or level 1 gunnery sorted. Everyone has to have a base level of signals throughout their career anyway, so it's a bonus if you're doing signals first. Then if you go into like an air defence regiment, a UAV regiment, or to 5th regiment, so surveillance, you're then going to do your trade course actually at regiment. You're not going to do any course to do with that trade within Lark Hill. So I believe, I could be slightly wrong, but I'm 90% sure you won't touch UAVs or your air defence systems until you actually get to regiment and start progressing through your career. So how does it sort of work in the artillery then? I can't really speak too much for the air defence and surveillance regiments or UAVs, but everyone has to have some sort of basic comms and a driving licence. You are going to do that. And then you're just going to start off at a level, so more than likely you'll be a signaller or whatever, and then you're going to work your way up until you're a commander of whatever platform you are on. So that's the ultimate goal of becoming a commander. The way it would work in a gun regiment then is you've got your command post, the gun line, FSTs. So I was FSTs, I was lucky enough to put straight on the FSTs. That doesn't normally happen. Normally you have to prove yourself, get a bit of experience on the gun line or in the CP to show an interest into the FSTs, and then you come across showing, you've got what it takes and you're fit enough to be in the FSTs. But I was lucky enough to do that. So that's your fire support team, so controlling all your fire support, working very closely with infantry, working with the OC, so the officer commanding. So it's a very good job, very exciting. Or you could be in a standoff OP somewhere, calling in fire support while the infantry are going in for an accompanied attack or whatever it is they're doing. You've then obviously got the gun line, which speaks for itself. You're working on the gun line, so the FSTs send the information to the command post. The command post turn that data in gun talk, pass it onto the guns, enter it into the guns, lay onto the target, and then they provide indirect fire onto the target. So it's whatever interests you. Do you want to go guns go bang on the gun line? Are you more interested in signals? Does that get you going? Because it can be a very exciting job. Would you rather work with radios, especially the way technology is moving now? Some of the systems that will be coming in the future are going to be very high tech. Or would you rather be in the fire support teams, working alongside the infantry or in a standoff OP, trying to gather intelligence, calling in fire support when needed? So they're the jobs, the way it works in a gun regiment. It's exactly the same as it is for an armoured, so if you're going to do AS90. And then it'd be, like I said, for air defence UAVs, they're going to have some sort of command post, aren't they, to talk to the air defence systems. And then you're going to have, within the batteries as well, you're going to have your BQMS, your stores, and your MTs, your motor transport. So if you'd rather do that, then that's what you're going to do. But the way it's working in Larkhill at the minute is the courses are a bit iffy. They're doing a lot of virtual working. There's no specialist PT. They're working in households of 6, so there's only 6 of you to prevent the spread of COVID. So it is completely different. You sort of just got to get there and just got to roll with it because of COVID. If you go into a specialist regiment train, you will leave phase 2 with a Cat B licence normally. COVID might change it here and there, and then you're going to leave with signals or gunnery as like a sort of trade course before you move on. You're then going to progress through. Ultimately, you want to end up at a commander somewhere. So do you want to be a troop sergeant of the CP? Do you want to be a number 1 on the gun? Do you want to be an FST commander within an FST? Do you want to be a commander on a rapier, commander at HVM? Do you want to be a commander of a watchkeeper drone? And then ultimately, as you progress through, you want to end up at somewhere called GCC and gunnery career course, and then coming out as a sergeant major down the school of artillery instructing. So that's the career progression. That's the way it's going to work for you. I know the information on phase 2 is a bit iffy. I do apologise, but because of COVID, it's completely thrown it off. You're going to do a lot of virtual learning. You're going to do about 3 mandatory PT sessions a week. There's no specialist PT by the sounds of it. For those going for PCAM, your commander course for 473, so speak to your DS about that. You're more than likely going to get your driving licence down there still, and then you're going to do signals or gunnery. So that's how it's going to work for the Royal Artillery. I am going to do future videos on the Royal Artillery, breaking down different regiments, different job roles, speaking to the regiments, getting people in from those regiments so they can give you a lot more information on the actual job roles, because I've only ever actually done one job role within the Royal Artillery. Hope you've enjoyed the video. Give us a thumbs up if you did. Click that subscription button to stay updated with more tips and advice on this topic if you want to know how to get fit for the military, application process, and any just general tips and advice to make your life easier throughout training. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.